Checking, checking, checking. Checking, checking, checking. Check, check, check. Hey guys, we're going live in a few minutes. Be ready, we're going live in a few minutes. to be here.
Very excited. Always
Guys,
excited.
welcome to the live. How y'all doing? How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good. Are you doing good?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing pretty swell. Guys, tonight is going to be epic, and we're super excited to have you on live tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Are we?
Oh, very much so. Oh, yeah.
On a scale from 1 to 10, like how exciting?
Right now, I'd say probably a 9, because, you could always
A
be
9.
here in person,
True.
always in
Yeah,
person.
you could always actually be here in person.
Shaking hands and, elbow touching, COVID and stuff. You don't want to... Oh.
Okay, so what are some things that you miss out on if you're not here in person?
You get to miss out on some awesome relationship opportunities. You get to be in personal relationship with friends and get to hang out with them. But not only that, but you get to be in small groups and just get to talk to some people, just be relational and stuff like that. So
You can hang out with us,
Oh,
right?
Yeah. You always want to do that. Always want to hang out with especially
seriously.
Alexia.
Especially Robin,
Whoa,
which if you guys
whoa.
didn't know, I'm Alexia Shad.
I'm
This
Robin
is
Yan.
yes,
Hello.
and we are on Instagram Live tonight.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
We're gonna be your hosts for tonight. Robin's actually a new face on the live.
I
I've
am.
been here for a while, but we're super excited.
Yeah, I'm
Guys,
excited too.
So the flow of the night is going to be. We're doing a game here tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we're gonna be going into large group. We're gonna do some quick announcements, and then guys, what do we have tonight, Robin?
So we're going to be painting blindfolded.
but in large group, what are we doing tonight?
In large group. Let me think about this. We've
This
got
is a good representation.
Yeah, this is a good representation.
What are we
We've got
doing tonight,
some
Robin?
Worship. We've got some awesome worship.
Guys, we are doing worship. And fun fact, the volunteers that we're going to introduce in just a minute are actually on the band.
On the band.
For
That
the
is
worship team.
Exclusive.
Guys, we're getting a VIP watch.
Yeah, you
VIP
guys,
entertainment.
I would pay for this.
Paid entertainment, for
Yeah.
sure.
But guess what? You
Yeah.
get it free. I guess we'll be generous. We'll be generous this time.
Yeah. Guys, but like Robin said, tonight for our game, we are going to be playing blindfolded Pictionary?
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you would...
I guess, we can call it that. It's like, I would say Pictionary, guess the picture, try to draw a picture. I mean, you're blindfolded. You can't see anything.
So we're going to be painting blindfolded tonight with our volunteers, and I'm super excited.
So am I.
I think we should get into it, honestly.
I know they're already, even blindfolded, they're going to do way better than I would have done, with eyes open, steady hands, in front of no one. I'm
Do
telling
you
right
just
now.
suck at art, Robin?
All the time. I literally can't draw.
You can't
I can't
paint?
do anything. Nope. Not
We'll
even
work on
close.
it. We'll work on it,
Yeah.
okay?
I'll have to do it in my free time, get better.
Okay. I think we should go straight into it, honestly.
Absolutely.
So we're going to stand up, and we're going to move our chairs over to the side.
Because, that's
Just
what we do.
to get our volunteers some room. You can just scoot it right over. And you guys can come on in, one on each side. Do your thing. Come on in, guys. Hey.
What's up? What's
How we
up?
doing today? Okay, so we're going to introduce you guys. Like I said, these people are the coolest people ever because they're on the worship band tonight.
yeah.
So maybe we can add a little question in there. So we're going to say, listen, we're going to say, what is your name? What grade are you in? What's your favorite thing to do at youth group? And what is your role in the worship band?
You got that? You got it? Give me
I'll ask it again. Okay, what is your name? What grade are you in? What's your favorite thing to do at youth group? And what do you do on the band?
Got it? Got it?
Okay,
Good,
go
good,
ahead.
good.
All right, my name is Caden. I am in 9th grade. My favorite thing to do here is help other people come and worship and hear the word. And my role is the drummer. So I bang.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Heck yeah,
Super
drummer power.
exciting. We love that. If you guys didn't know, Robin's also a drummer. So
no.
we got the drummer power over here. I'm a singer, so I guess we're a little.
Oh, way to flex, way to
We're a
flex.
little, yeah. Okay. So, what is your name? What grade are you in? What you at? This is my best friend. If you guys didn't know, it's fine. Okay. What is your
Whoa,
name? What
whoa,
grade are you in?
I just get kicked out.
What is your favorite thing to do at youth group, and what is your role on the band?
So my name is Cassidy. I'm a senior in high school, and my favorite thing to do here is just be with my friends because it's fun. And I'm the piano player.
We love that.
Heck yeah.
So we got drummer, singer, piano. We love it. We love
All
to
in
see
here.
it.
Oh,
We
yeah.
love to see.
What's
Before we went live, what do we say? Say it. Getting the band. What? Band back together. Dudes, we're getting the band back together. We love it. Okay,
Y'all
so
are
you
weird.
guys heard a little bit of what we're doing tonight. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
blindfolded painting. So essentially, we have a cup here of 4 different paintings that you guys can do
Of our choosing.
of our choosing. We did decide.
I'm
we did
proud.
choose them.
I am proud.
And so you guys are gonna draw one, and the other person is not going to see what it is. The paper is kind of transparent, so you're gonna want to probably like cover it a little bit. But I'm sure we're probably only gonna get to like 1 person or 2 people, whatever the case may be.
That sounds good.
But you guys are gonna pick one. You're gonna make sure the other person can't see it, and then you're gonna blindfold yourself, try to paint it, and then is gonna guess what the picture is.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Good luck. Good luck.
Okay. So,
gonna be
guys,
amazing.
honestly,
I'm
I
excited.
might have failed you in the fact that I only actually brought primary colors going back to
Yeah.
elementary school.
So here's you're gonna have to mix
So
them together.
this is a really, really big challenge,
Oh, yeah.
honestly. No, honestly, you can use whatever colors. If you just want to use even one color, that'd probably be easier. But it doesn't really matter.
But
So
are they're gonna know where the colors are on the plate before they like blindfold themselves, right?
I would say yeah.
Okay, I'm glad. 'Cause
Okay,
like,
so do you guys want to
If the sun's blue-
I'm gonna go ahead and say we're gonna do a game of rock paper scissors to see, and then whoever wins gets to choose if they want to paint first or guess first.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and play rock paper scissors. We're gonna do in best 2 out of 3 on
never shoot, play shoot. We
On
always
shoot.
play
Ready?
shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Whoa.
Okay. Okay. Best 2 out of 3 though. So Cassidy won. So go rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Okay. So it's a tie.
Here we
Ready?
go. Tiebreaker.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh my goodness.
So
he
our man
clutched it in
Caden
the
over
end.
here won the rock, paper, scissors game. What are you going to choose to do? Are you going to choose to paint? You're going to guess first.
Yeah.
Okay, Cassidy's painting over here. So Cass, I'm going to have you pick whatever color you want. Doesn't really matter. You're going to do red? I knew that you were going to do red. How did I know that? I
You're
just
gonna do
did. I
red?
just
Just
did.
red?
Okay, so we're going to, this is kind of messy. We put a
Always
tablecloth
pick
over
the
here.
Yellow. Yellow's the best color.
Oh, we got a little crusty
All right.
paint.
Just that? Just a little
Okay.
bit? Just a little
and
dab?
then pick a
little dab?
paintbrush. Pick a
You get
paintbrush.
nice paintbrushes. Those are expensive. Don't break them.
They're definitely like dollar store paintbrushes. It's not a big deal. Okay, and then
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you
Finger
a piece
painting.
of paper.
Do I get to know what I'm painting?
And yes, so you get to know, but he does not, and he's gonna have to guess it. Okay.
Okay.
So go ahead and draw whatever. Make sure
Okay,
that he
let's see
can't
what it-
see it.
don't
Let's do a
let-
little
yeah,
cover
yeah,
on the
yeah.
hand. Okay.
Nice.
And then don't
nice,
tell me what
nice.
it is. Actually, I want to see what it is.
Memorize your card. Memorize
Okay,
your
cool.
card.
So put that in your pocket. Put that in your pocket.
Do you have it? Do you have it memorized, huh? Do you have it
You have it
memorized?
memorized?
You better have it memorized.
Okay, so you're gonna put your blindfold on, make sure you can't see, and then you're gonna paint that. So I'm gonna give you your paintbrush, just so you.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good.
What am I holding up? No. Okay. Okay. Cool. You can't. Okay. Cool.
right.
So we're gonna go ahead and have you start. Go ahead. The plate is right here. I'm gonna help her out just slightly. I don't think that's.
Okay.
So you're gonna.
A little bit. There you go.
There you
oh,
go.
there you go. Way to get
Okay.
in
And then I'll take the plate, and then I.
in the paint. Basketball joke.
So go ahead and.
Oh, nice. Nice. That
Okay.
is
What do you think
beautiful.
so far, Caden? What do you think so far?
Got it.
No idea. It looks like an
He
explosion.
has no idea. It's an explosion.
An explosion.
Here, more paint. You got
You know
more
what?
paint. I got
can
you more
definitely
paint.
see that. It's
Try
looking
again.
great. A nuke? A mushroom cloud. Wow, what a
Okay,
what
that's beautiful.
Do you know
Here,
what that
more
is?
paint is right here. More paint is right there. Okay, you got more paint. You got more
Balloon,
paint.
maybe? I don't know.
A balloon?
Maybe a balloon.
That's kind of close.
Nice. Good job.
Okay.
You're
More
killing
paint.
it.
More paint. Okay,
Well,
hold
at
on.
least-
Keep your brush
at least
still.
the at least the
Okay.
tablecloth
Do
is
you have
red.
any other guesses? Do you have any other guesses? No guesses?
No, not at all.
Okay. No more guesses. Okay.
You said like balloon, mushroom cloud, those type of things. I could see it.
So we're gonna show you guys Cassidy's picture. Here we go.
Brilliant. That is genius.
Not
is
bad
that?
for what it
What
is.
is that supposed to be?
So, are we ready to tell you guys what it is? Yeah? Okay. Go ahead and tell them what your picture is.
It was a light bulb.
A light bulb. Oh, I can see.
It's a light bulb.
Yeah, I see it, and then I
Yeah,
can see
okay,
the
so
little
she
lines.
had, I think she drew the actual
Oh
shape
my
of the
goodness.
light bulb like multiple times, but she has like the lines and the, you know,
I
like
see it.
the
I can
light
see that
coming
now.
out of
I can
it.
definitely see that now.
It's a very good picture. I think you should give this to your mom for Mother's Day.
Yeah, like finger painting.
I think I think it's perfect.
I did that in kindergarten.
We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it. Okay.
Oh.
So, Caden, are you ready? I think we're ready for you to go.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead.
Gotta stir it
gonna-
up, stir it up, stir it up, mix it up.
Okay.
All right, pick one.
Piece of paper.
All right, make sure you don't show anyone. Memorize your card. Cassidy, look away. There you go.
Queen. Is that what you just said? Queen. Okay. So pick a color. What color?
Yeah, put that in your pocket. Yeah, let's go. go.
Okay. He's
good
for
color. What a
he's
good
going
color.
for that one. Okay.
It's gonna be
Okay,
harder
cool.
for you to
so
see,
you're gonna pick one of these. Actually,
Haha.
I'm gonna give you a plate. Oh, you did.
Oh, yeah,
Duh.
I got it for
Okay,
him.
I knew that.
My bad. I should have communicated.
Okay, so I'm gonna put some on here for you.
Okay, here we go.
Some paint.
Some
We're
nice
just gonna
yellow.
Do a little.
That's a good amount.
That's
That
a
is
lot of paint, but
somewhat-
it's not
that
a big
looks
deal.
like mustard, man.
I mean, it's yellow, so obviously it looks like mustard. Okay. Now, wait. You gotta pick a brush. You gotta pick a brush.
You know what? Now I have a prank
Grab a
idea in
brush.
mind now.
There you go. Okay.
Just pretend it's mustard.
Hold on. Let's
Give
dry
us-
your brush
that
off
might
really
hurt
quick.
them. Never
Dry your
mind.
brush off. We gotta do all the steps in between.
All right,
okay.
here you go.
Now, are you ready? Put your blindfold down. Okay. Can you see anything? Can't see anything?
Okay, we're good.
Okay.
I think we're good.
So you got your object. Robin, do you
Okay.
know what his is?
No, I didn't look. I didn't
Oh,
see
okay,
it.
that's
so
okay.
he knows.
That's okay. He knows. He's
Okay, here
going
we go.
for it. Okay.
Looking good.
Hey, Cass,
Looking good.
You gotta try to guess
Ooh, that's pretty.
what he's drawing over here.
I
you
like
see
it.
his?
I like it.
Okay.
Great. Got him.
It kind of looks like a
Yeah, that
bobby
helps.
pin. Not gonna lie.
Okay, you good? You good? You good? You good?
A person? Yeah.
Nice.
Person.
Yes, that's
Beautiful.
brilliant. What? Any thoughts so far, Cassidy? Any thoughts?
It looks like he's failing at a stick figure.
Oh, a stick figure.
A stick figure?
Not only a stick figure, but not a good one. Not a good one. It's looking good. Yeah. Yeah, she got oh my goodness, the double hitter there.
I love it. Okay.
You good?
Okay. Are
any
you,
more guesses?
So any more guesses?
Any more guesses?
A cross?
A cross?
No.
No.
You
No
wanna
more
try
guesses.
to add to it?
Do you want to try to add
You
anything?
can't really add to it. Okay. No guesses, Cass? Nothing more. Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay, so you can take your blindfold off now. We're gonna show them your beautiful paper. What do you think?
What?
Yeah?
Brilliant. Brilliant.
It looks
That looks amazing.
It honestly kind of
Oh,
just looks
man.
like you took mustard
Can
and
I
just
get
like
this home and take it out my fridge? I'm gonna tape
everywhere.
it on my fridge. Make sure you put your autograph on the bottom. I want everyone to know that the drummer from
You
youth
do
group
this?
literally painted me a picture.
Oh wait, I want some of that too. I need my autograph.
Do we tell Cassidy? Did you already tell them what they painted? What did he paint?
Oh no, he didn't tell us what he
What
painted.
did he paint?
Drum roll, please. Literally, drummer.
Oh,
Ready?
On time and everything.
I tried to paint a tree.
Oh,
It's a tree.
It's a tree.
It's a tree,
I can see
guys.
that. I can see the tree.
It's a tree. Yeah.
looks brilliant.
It looks a little bit more like a tree and less like mustard on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Now that you have to say that.
If mustard trees are, a thing.
It's absolutely
somewhere.
beautiful. Guys, Cassidy
some
just did
mustard trees.
a little signature.
Yeah.
We're
If
so
we had
excited.
green, that would have been nice. But guess what?
Guys,
Primary
this
colors.
was super fun. We have only a little bit of time left with you guys, but how did you guys think that went?
Yeah.
I mean, I failed, but it went pretty good.
I think it did the
I think it did absolutely horrible, but it's okay.
Okay, so nobody really won. I want you
True.
guys to say in the comments who you think won this challenge,
Yeah.
who did a better picture,
Yeah.
all
Of
your
course it
things.
is. Of
And
course it
guys,
is.
stay tuned for worship, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Please do.
Yes. Stay tuned
Totally
for
pumped
worship.
for that.
Stay tuned for large group. And if you guys can make it next week to youth group, definitely be here.
Please.
Yeah?
And I would
A
love
nod
to meet you.
for youth group?
You get to meet the drummer.
Sweet. Sweet. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Stay in large group. We'll see you later, guys.
Please. All right. See ya.
Adios.
Adios. Speaking
See you later.
Spanish.
Bye.
I got a homesick heart, but alone.
Head on in, everybody. Head on in.
I've been doing my part, but I ain't got much to show. So I'm asking you to show me some forgiveness. It's all for you in my pursuit of happiness. Chasing that life, moving on, cause I had to prove.
Ooh, Trevor, hello. Welcome, welcome. Head on in, guys.
I'm asking you to show me some forgiveness. It's all for you in my pursuit of happiness. I got dreams that keep me up in the dead of night, telling me I wasn't made for the simple life. There's a lot I see, but it's far in the distance. I'm asking you to show me some forgiveness. It's all for you in my pursuit.
Welcome, welcome. Head on in.
I've been working all night, maybe you could help me to believe this song ain't nothing if the song can't set you free. So I'm asking you to show me some forgiveness. It's all for you in my pursuit of happiness. I've got dreams that keep me up in the dead of night, telling me I wasn't made for the simple life. There's a lot I see, but it's far in the distance. I'm asking you to show me some forgiveness. It's all for you in my pursuit of happiness. Sometimes you leave the ones you love, but if it's love, they won't give up, cause they know a war's raging, and you gotta choose. These days are tough, these days are long, sometimes it's hard to carry on, but I hear a voice singing.
Come on in. Fill up those front seats, folks.
I got dreams that keep me up in the dead of night, telling me I wasn't made for the simple life. There's a lot I see, but it's far in the distance. I'm asking you to show me some forgiveness. It's all for you in my pursuit of happiness.
Any stragglers still out there? Head on in. You've got 15 seconds.
Happiness, happiness. I'm singing, I'm singing, I'm singing. Oh, happiness.
Hey guys!
Welcome.
What is up? Happy Monday!
Ooh,
Is Monday a happy thing? I think so.
I don't know, but that's fine.
Happy Monday, guys. Welcome to Youth Group. My name is Brittany. I'm one of the female leads here on the high school team.
And I'm Micah, and I'm a small group leader.
Yes, and we are super glad that you are here hanging out with us. If you are new tonight, welcome. Thanks for coming. We hope that you like everything about Youth Group.
Yes, yes. I actually have the shortest memory known to the whole planet, so I don't actually know what we're even announcing, but I'll let you tee that up first.
You can just wing it.
Okay.
We have a couple of ways that we want you guys to stay connected with us always. So we have a few different social media platforms. So if you are not following us on those, we would love for you to do so.
Right there. She's doing it right now.
Right there. She is. We have an Instagram account. We are Real Life High School _PF. And then we also have a TikTok called Real Life Youth, which is sweet. And one last thing, we have a text blast that we would love for you to text into if you have not already. We send out all sorts of different information, updates on things that are coming, updates on things that are coming up. Like we have camp coming really, really soon.
Yeah!
Camp shirts, and registration opens at the end of this month, and so we'll be sending out reminders. And if you're not in our text blast, then you won't get those reminders. So follow us on social media, text into our text blast so that you can stay connected with us.
And informed.
Informed. And in a couple weeks, we have something called March Madness coming up.
Ooh.
Yes.
I don't even know what sport that is. Just kidding, it's a lie, but I don't care for the sport.
I was like, maybe I don't either. If you don't know what it is, then I really don't know what it is. March Madness, guys, 2 weeks. Have you guys heard of March Madness around here? It's youth group style, so it's a little bit different. we are going to be doing a 3-on-3 March Madness basketball tournament during our after hours in 2 weeks on March 22nd.
And if you're terrible at basketball, please still sign up because it'll be a blast.
Yes.
It'll be so fun to watch terrible people play basketball.
Like me. I mean, I don't know about me playing, but if you're anything like me, God just did not give me the gift of athleticism. And it's totally fine. Like, I've come to peace with it. I'm not athletic.
I'm really hoping that my small group, we can have a few teams of, there's a couple of my small group guys that are actually really good, and I don't want to be on their team because I'll bring them down. But I want the ones that are terrible. I want them.
I want to be on the team that's really good. So if you're really good and you need one more teammate, ask me, and I'll join. You guys should ask your leaders to join, though. I think that'd be really fun. I want to see all hands on deck for this March Madness
Brittany
tournament.
realized she's overpromised, and she's like, actually, why don't you ask your leaders?
Yes,
yeah,
actually, please do. So we should have a sign up. I am just going to say that it's going to be in the back of this room at the end of the night and hope that that's true.
And your will be done.
Yes.
There we go.
We want you guys to sign up, and it's going to be a blast. I'm not sure what the trophy is, but we'll find something super sweet. So think about it. Sign up for it. It's literally going to be happening in 2 weeks during our after hours. Awesome. One more thing, school ministry. We have talked about it a little bit from stage before, and we want to talk about it again because we have this program here at Real Life called School of Ministry for those that have like just graduated or young adults that are kind of heading into a new season of life. And we are now kind of thinking about young adult students that are wanting to get plugged into that. So Micah actually was in School of Ministry himself.
I wouldn't recommend it. No, I'm just kidding. If you're a senior and you're graduating, you should definitely think about it. But I would say just do it because it's a lot of fun. You learn a lot. And actually, we're all going on a retreat this weekend.
Straight
Not going to
up
tell you where
this
so you
weekend.
can't party crash. But next year, you can just come because you'll be in School of Ministry.
Yep.
It'll be great.
It's super good. And so if you are a senior and you're about to graduate and you're wondering what this is or what it's like, or maybe you're kind of wanting to do it a little bit, we have an info meeting coming up this Sunday, March 14th here at the church. It's going to be from like 1:15 to 2:30. We're serving lunch, so that's
Free.
super cool. If anything, come for the free food.
I actually didn't know if it was free, but I took a shot in the dark.
It is. That's good. The food is free and the information is free, and so it's gonna be really good. If you have questions about it, ask us. Come to the meeting. We'd love to see you. So with that, before we jump into something really, really cool, we actually have a school ministry video for you guys to check out. So check out the screen.
Most people, especially young people, I've talked to a lot of people about school ministry, about possibly joining it. Most people, especially young people, whether just out of high school or even a few years out of high school, I've talked to a lot of people about school ministry, about possibly joining it. Most people, especially young people, whether just out of high school or even a few years out of high school, this is the perfect program to go through.
So my experience with school ministry was really good. Most of the time is just really learning how to just build my relationship with God, with other people.
I had an opportunity to lead one of my small group guys to the Lord. That was incredible. It was really cool to see him take that step and then be able to be there with him when he was ready to take that step.
Knew that I was passionate about God. I never really felt comfortable doing so until I was actually in school ministry growing and being taught how to do that.
Unless you know exactly what you're going to do, you know why God's calling you to do what you want to do, this is a phenomenal program to start your path off in a really positive direction. This is awesome to be able to spend some intentional time developing your relationship with the Lord, growing that foundation, and securing your identity and who you are in Christ.
Yeah.
Super legit, super legit.
Hey guys, we're about to head into a time of worship. I know we left, but we're back. Don't worry. We're going to head into a time of worship in just a couple of minutes. And so we have just a cool spoken word video for you guys to see. I think yeah, we just want you to see it, so check it out.
He is more than you could ever need. He's more than the eye could see. I don't deserve his love, but he's always been there for me. You see, Jesus met me when I was at my lowest. And if you don't know Jesus, know this. He is the greatest example of generosity this world of greed has ever seen. And when Jesus hit the scene, he changed the scenery and met diversity with serenity. If you're looking for peace, he offers plenty. Jesus was and Jesus will forever be king. And when the angels sing, they sing of the grace that was displayed for sinners like me. I can't explain him and I can't describe him. And if I could, he wouldn't be Jesus, because you can't explain eternity and you can't comprehend the galaxies. But it was the loving hands of Jesus who spun them into existence and created man, knowing he would go to the cross to pay our sentence. There was a certificate of judgment with a period after the sentence, and we were sentenced to death long before he said it is finished. He is a father to the orphan, a shelter for the homeless, a hiding place for the abused, and an anchor for our storms. He stormed the gates of hell and came out on top, and the power of his gospel cannot be stopped, even when the world tries. And they try a lot. He traded places with Barabbas and became the catalyst of missions across the world, covering every portion of the atlas. If you're in need of rest, I know of a mattress. If you don't know Jesus, your future is tragic, but he gladly embraced tragedy so we could live in his presence of majesty. His presence is presence, and it's his presence that presents preciousness to a world of peasants. He is far from pretentious, but still loves those who are. He is the light of the world and hung the stars. He brings the dead to life and delivers life to the dead. He took a crown of thorns on his head so we could put crowns at his feet, and I can't wait until I get to kiss his feet that were nailed to a cross for me and for you and for every person around the world. He loves the world, and I love his word, because the word became flesh, and in his flesh he demonstrated the word to the world. He is an example to every boy and every girl. He is a lover of black people. He is a lover of white people. He is a lover of the unchurched and the assembly under the steeple. He doesn't see the believers' failures, but still takes time to celebrate their faithfulness. It's the power of the Spirit that enables us and gives us boldness when the world labels us. And if you want to label me, please call me a Jesus freak. And if that freaks you out, good. Because it's better to be good with God than to fight being misunderstood by a world that could never understand. So let it be understood that I don't worship man. We worship Jesus. And although he doesn't need us, he still sees us and pleads with us to run to the cross where he bled for us. His heart bleeds for us. His heart grieves for us. But still graciously grants us a pardon for our treason in a season where the world tries to explain away the work of the Spirit with human reasoning. There is a reason they can't. Because the Spirit is like the wind, and the wind cannot be seen. But loved is the one who believes without seeing the unseen. I'm telling you today that Jesus is something. He's something more. He's something great. And if you want to know him, you don't have to wait. He stands at the narrow path with a key to the gate, and you only have to reach out and embrace his grace. I don't care who's president. I have the king who is always present. I don't care who holds musical celebrity. The voice of the Lord will always be the sweetest melody. I don't care who owns the riches of the globe. My Jesus holds more wealth than one ruby on his robe. I don't care who is the strongest or the fastest. Nothing matches the creator of the universe and his immortal infinite status. I don't care about religious leaders who died and stayed dead. I'll only worship the one who conquered death and wears a crown on his head. His name is Jesus, and I'm telling you, he's something. He was faithful yesterday, and he is faithful today. I can feel his presence whenever I pray, and when the time comes for me to fade away, I'll remember the day I heard him say, my name is Jesus.
Okay, I'm gonna invite you guys to all stand up and sing with us. Who am I that the highest king would welcome? Oh, his love. While
the power of sin and darkness, whose love is mighty and so much stronger. The King of glory, the King above all kings, who shakes the whole earth with holy thunder and leaves us breathless in awe and wonder. The King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place, that you would bear my cross, you would lay down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Who brings our chaos back into order? Who makes the orphan a son and daughter? The King of glory, the King of glory, who rules the nations with holy justice, shines like the sun in all of its brilliance. The King of glory, the King above all kings. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place, that you would bear my cross, you lay down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy, worthy, worthy. Oh, this is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place. That you would bear my cross. You lay down your life, that I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me.
Okay, you guys can take your seats.
Hello, hello, hello. How we doing? How are we doing? Man, let's give it up for the worship band. That was legit. Nice work, guys. So encouraging to me. I love it. Man, I realize this. It has been a while since I've been here with the opportunity to teach you guys. Some of you guys, I know, I hung out with you every Monday night. It was so fun. I haven't been here in a while, so lots of you have no idea who I am. I'm sorry. My name is Sam. Hi guys. I don't know all what you said. I'll just take it as positive and affirming things. Sweet. Tonight, we're wrapping up our relationship series. We're talking about singleness, dating, and sex. Sex. Okay. Do you want to look at your neighbor and say, we're talking about singleness, dating, and sex? Go ahead and say that right to your neighbor. How many of you skipped all the other words and just said sex to your neighbor? Or how many of you did that? We're talking about singleness, dating, and it's all right, sex. It's a thing out there. Anyways, I'm excited to talk with you guys tonight about this conversation of singleness, dating, and sex, because those three topics highly, highly impact the rest of your life and how you view and how you engage with your singleness, if you date, your dating relationships, and how you view sex or sexuality highly, highly impact you. And I'll just say that I'm actually really excited to be here tonight. I'm excited to share about this topic, highly passionate about it, not because I'm an expert or have it all figured out, but I truly believe that God wants to bless you and encourage you, and that only happens as you and I surrender to who He is and what He has to say about how we do life. And man, so much in our life and in our culture, when it comes to these areas of singleness, dating, and sex, we say, you know what, God, we have it figured out. I got this. And we're afraid to let God be God in these areas of our life. So I just want to start off here for a moment. I want us to pray. I want to encourage you to just have a moment to pray and say, God, will you talk to me tonight? God, will you speak to me in this conversation about singleness? Maybe some of you are single and you're loving it. Some of you are single and sad. Some of you are like, I want to be single till I die. Some of you are in a dating relationship. Some of you just got out of one. Some of you can't wait to get into another one. And then we're talking about sex. And when it comes to sex, some of you have been hurt by sex. Some of you are longing for it. Some of you are doing things right now that you regret. I just want to take a moment for you to pray, for me to pray that God would speak to you the things that you need to hear tonight. So let's pray. God, just thanks that you're here. God, thanks that we get to be here together as your people. God, to hear from you. And we just pray that, God, that you would speak to each one of us. God, that you'd reveal the things that we need to hear, that we'd hear your voice. God, help us to come in line with who you are in your word. Thanks that you love us. Thanks for sending Jesus to come to this earth, to live a perfect life, to die in our place. God, thanks that you rose him from the grave and that you give us life because of him. Thanks that we're not alone. Thanks that you care. And we just pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. All right, I'm going to start off talking about singleness. And man, the season of singleness is so important. Because in your season of singleness, you have to learn to be okay with you. You have to learn to be okay with you. So often in life, we run to relationships or other things to solve the issues that we have in here. And I'll just say this, your season of singleness, before you're married, before you're dating and thinking about that next season, you need to learn to be okay with who you are. And I'll just say this, that's not an easy journey. Right? How many of you have areas of your life or aspects of who you are that you wish weren't how they are? That you would like to change some part of you? Man, all of us. So this challenge to go, man, how do we walk with God in such a way that we find a peace and a contentment in who he is and who we are in him? And only when we walk in that fullness, in that satisfaction, are we ready for a healthy relationship. Right? In lots of ways, it's like we're a cup. Oh, look, here's a cup right here. That's perfect. Thank you. Hopefully you don't have germs too much. But we're like this cup, and really we have like holes all over us, but we need to learn to be filled up and to be satisfied in who God is. That's our season of singleness. Man, God, how do we get to where you fill us up? And then only as we are full, then we're ready to meet another full cup to have a full relationship, a full marriage, a full family. But man, so often we're empty cups, and we're looking to find satisfaction in somebody else to fill me up that I would feel good about me. So then we enter into a relationship, self-focused, saying, what are you going to give to me? And the solution to this, really this singleness and this desire to be filled, the solution is Jesus. And I know that sounds kind of simple, but some of you have been trying to walk with Jesus, and it's often challenging. How do we keep coming back to who he is and what he says about who we are, like we were just singing? Man, God, help me to be and live in that. To that you would fill my cup, that it wouldn't be my performance, wouldn't be my accomplishments, it wouldn't be somebody else filling me up, but you. So I find so often in life, particularly when it comes to relationships, that we can start to function based on what other people think or what we think they think of us. And we go, man, I just want to be in a dating relationship because then I'll be somebody. Right? Then my cup will have something in it. So people will look at me and they see that I value because I'm in a relationship with somebody that values me. That is such a lie. Not only is Jesus the solution to fill us up, but Jesus is also the example of a single life. I want to ask you this question. How many of you believe that Jesus lived a full and satisfying life? Think Jesus lived a full and satisfying life? Or did Jesus like miss out, bummer? Like obviously he ended up dying, but like before that, did he have a full and satisfying life? Like he did everything that God wanted him to do. Was that satisfying? Was his cup full? I truly believe he lived a satisfying life in his relationship with God, that he walked around with a full cup, which is why God was able to use him to minister to so many people. Jesus was single his whole life, and his cup was full. You can be single right now and for the rest of your life, and your cup can be full because of your relationship with Jesus. And you matter to God so much. So much. I want to read a couple of verses in Matthew chapter 10. Jesus is trying to encourage his disciples and let them know how much he cares about them, because some of the things that Jesus asks us to do are challenging and kind of scary. And this can even be one of those. Man, am I willing to have Jesus be the one who fills me up? Am I willing to walk in life in a way that honors him? It's not about our culture and the pressure to do what other people think. It can be different challenges. So in Matthew 10, Jesus is trying to encourage them of how much he cares about them. Matthew 10:29, it says, Jesus said, what is the price of 2 sparrows, right? 2 sparrows are a couple little birdies, kind of cute, right, or whatever. What are the price of 2 sparrows? It's 1 copper coin, right? 1 small coin. But not a single sparrow can fall to the ground without your Father knowing it. And the very hairs of your head are all numbered. So don't be afraid. You are more valuable to God than a whole flock of sparrows, right? What he's saying, like, hey, these little sparrows and the hairs on your head, some things that we don't really care about, God actually knows. They actually matter to him. So when it comes to who you are, so much more than the hairs on your head or birds, you matter to God. You matter to him, and he wants to be the source that fills you up. Not relationships, not sex, not accomplishments, None of those things will truly satisfy, only him. And Jesus lived it. So in the days in your singleness and you're going, man, it sucks being single. I just wish I had somebody else in my life to fill me up. That's a lie. In those moments where you're like, man, I hate being single, just look to Jesus. Man, Jesus, you were single. How'd you do that? Help me to walk with you and see how you did life, to be filled by you. Man, the solution to our singleness is Jesus. He fills us, his example, we can follow him. All right, but most of you won't always be single. You're going to start dating, or you are dating. Let's talk about some things about dating. One question when it comes to dating, dating is to lead to this big M word called marriage, right? You talked about this last week. Dating is supposed to lead to this big M word called, no, I got dating is just all about fun and, like hanging out and like we do stuff, Anyways, all right. When it comes to dating leading to marriage, thinking about marriage, one day you might be married and you might have a whole tussle of children. Maybe you become really old and become a grandparent. You have to wear diapers again. Anyways, like whole thing you can look forward to. But how many of you, when you think of a marriage relationship, how many of you want a long-lasting, satisfying marriage relationship? How many of you want a short-term, volatile, marriage? All right, I didn't think so. Some of you are like, So I want to introduce a little tool to you when it comes to dating to help kind of create a framework of, man, how do we do this dating thing in a way that honors God, that sets us up for a stable, long-term marriage, relationship, and family. And I call it the relational pyramid. And I have, you can maybe see it up here, this little pyramid. We actually have some images on the screen of the relational pyramid. And you have to picture this, right? This is a 3D object. I have some of my beautiful handwriting on it. So picture this as a pyramid, or if I flip it, it becomes like a top or something, like the whatever, kind of topsy-turvy. Anyways, stability, right? A relationship that has this broad foundation, right? You can move it and it doesn't fall over. If I try to balance it, right, so easily it falls. And so these layers of how we build a healthy relationship matter so much. The first layer, the foundation, and again, there might be an image that comes up, is our spiritual lives. Whether you're a Christian, not a Christian, who you are and what you believe is really the foundation that you bring into every relationship. So it's so important, and that's often our season of singleness, that we invest in our spiritual lives, our walk with God, the things that God has for us, and that creates this broad foundation of who we are. Then when we start to think about who do we date, we think about dating people that believe the same things that we do about who God is. Right, so if you're saying that you're a Christian, when it comes to dating, you would only date Christians. A couple verses, like, man, this is so huge. It could be so tempting to date someone just based on how they look. Reality check, people's looks are gonna change. Right, that is a poor priority just to have it be looks. And what people believe, the things that they value, that drive their life is most important. Couple things that God has to say, like this idea of you, if you're a Christian, marrying another Christian is such a big deal to God. It's been a story that he has been telling his people like from the beginning. Right, so we're gonna look at some verses going from the Old Testament, different times where God is just saying, man, just stay married to people that believe the same thing. But to summarize it, in 2 Corinthians 6:14, Paul writing to the church to encourage them of what kind of relationships, deep relationships to form when it comes to teaming up in life. He says, don't team up with those who are unbelievers. How can righteousness be a partner with wickedness? How can light live with darkness? What harmony can there be between Christ and the devil? How can a believer be a partner with an unbeliever? And he's talking about deep, abiding relationships. When it comes to somebody that you would date or have a marriage relationship, one that is stable, you have to be believing the same things, particularly about who Jesus is, that why we're here on this earth, the things that we value. Dating another Christian, high priority. Some other verses that just go, man, this is such a consistent conversation from God. In 1 Kings 11, I know you were like, dude, I was reading that the other day getting pumped. 1 Kings 11. Anyways, in 1 Kings 11, talking about King Solomon, one of the wisest dudes ever to live, started really strong and finished really weak. And he finished weak, which we're going to read here, based on his relationships with the opposite sex, with women. In 1 Kings 11:1, it says, now King Solomon loved many foreign women. Besides Pharaoh's daughter, which was his first wife, he married women from Moab, Ammon, Edom, Sidon, and from among the Hittites. The Lord had clearly instructed the people of Israel, you must not marry them because they will turn your hearts to their gods. That's from Deuteronomy 7. Yet Solomon insisted on loving them anyways. He had 700 wives of royal birth and 300 concubines. That's 1,000. Anyways, but this, in fact, they did turn his heart away from the Lord. Right? So often we rationalize and go, God, you really don't know what you're talking about. Right? We do this little thing called missionary dating where we're going to be this missionary for Jesus. I love you, God, and I'll do the things you have for you, but oh, he's just so cute. And I think he might come to youth group with me, maybe. And I'll just share my faith with him, and maybe he'll start to trust. I'm sure he'll start to trust. I mean, God, you're so good. Of course he'll trust you. I'm just going to start dating him now. Right? We can make these lies that we lie to ourselves. God says, don't do it. We're like, oh, but God, you can trust me. I love them so much. I love you, them. Who do I love? God said, no, you're going to get distracted. You're going to get off who you date, really, because who you marry matters. That's the spiritual layer, the spiritual foundation. But from that layer of that relationship of who we are in God, then pursuing somebody who also is in God, right? That full cup, we come together. So then what does it look like from there? So the next layer of the pyramid is this intellectual layer, meaning that we start to use our minds and we learn to communicate and talk and make connection based on our words, not based on physical connection, which is flipping this upside down. The top of the pyramid is physical. But man, in our culture, there's always this push to, are you physical yet? Have you done it yet? What base are you on? What have you done? What have you seen? What have you touched? Right? We flip this and it becomes so unstable, the relationship doesn't last. And then we move on and we try the same thing. Let's start with physical. What do they look like? Rather than going, man, that's not working. How do I have a relationship with God that drives my priorities? How do I learn to communicate and have a conversation? Right, that's not, there it is, spiritual, intellectual. And then as we learn to communicate and talk, we actually learn to start to, different layers of communication, start to share actually who we are, our opinions, our dreams, and through that we start to make an emotional connection. This is so important when it comes to a marriage relationship, to learn to form an emotional, intimate connection apart from physical contact. To have that intimacy that it creates this stability, and then in marriage, then the physical, right, sex then is this glue that keeps it all together. But so often in our culture, this desire to have that intimate connection, to be known by somebody, we flip it and we hijack it and we choose the physical, because in that physical it creates an emotional connection. And then we're like, oh yeah, what's your name? The intellectual? Where are you from? Who are you? This is weird. I'm going to move on and I'm going to do it all over again. Oh, and by the way, I'm a Christian. Are you a Christian? We're so upside down. Man, when it comes to dating and who you date, it matters so much. And learning to go at a pace that lines you up with God's standard. And relationships are dynamic, meaning they're always moving. That relationships are more like an escalator than a staircase. So you're either moving together or you're moving apart. And this challenge is to go, well, we're not moving together fast, and we don't have this emotional connection like that we want, because we really have empty cups and we're hoping that each other will fill that cup. Then we hijack and we start to do physical things together to create that connection, but then it creates this instability, and that relationship ends, and then we try to do it all over again. We try to do it all over again. And we try to do it all over again, and it just doesn't work. And we need to make a choice to go, God, help me to do things your way. God, help me to come back to where you're the one that fills me up, that my cup is full because of who you are. And help me choose your priority when it comes to relationships that would have the stability that I so long for. All right, so that's talking about singleness. Man, our hope in singleness is Jesus, that Jesus would be the one that fills us up, that we'd follow his example, that we can be single and satisfied, that we don't need to find our value in somebody else. Then when it comes to our dating relationships, we don't want to flip it upside down and do what our culture says and start physically and only value the physical exterior and then start to do things physically to create this emotional connection that's really about filling our cup. And then it falls apart and we do it all over again and we are hurt and we're damaged. And we bring that into the next relationship and the next relationship. And we need to repent of that and go, God, help me to do the things that you have for me, to choose you, to choose somebody else that also is into you, that is also being filled by you, so that when we come together, man, we're complementing each other. We're there for each other because of what you're doing. And then in that relationship that is on this road to marriage, then there's sex. We're gonna talk about sex here in a second. I wanna say this. Dating is about marriage. How many of you are ready to be married in a year from now? 1 year from right now, you're like, come on, baby. Probably not very many of you. I'll say this, if you are in a dating relationship that isn't moving towards marriage in less than a year, you are most likely to do physical things that you will regret. Because the only way that you can keep the connection that you so desire is by flipping this thing upside down and doing some physical things to make that connection. So to encourage you to not compromise, to give away your integrity and your purity for something that's gonna fall apart, I wanna really challenge you to not date. Oh man, mic drop, boom. Don't date till you're ready to get married. Like in a year, like you should date for 6 months. By 6 months, you should be going, man, I think we should get married. You get engaged, you got 6 months to plan a wedding, year, boom. Now I know some of you are like, oh, I don't agree with, no. What about, right, our culture says, what about compatibility? What about finding that person that I really fit with? Bullcrap, okay, sorry. A couple things about compatibility, all right? One of the things our culture says, even in the sex realm of compatibility, our culture's like, you just gotta find somebody that you know you really click with. And if you're not doing sexual stuff, because you wanna do sexual stuff in your marriage, you gotta make sure you're really compatible and you fit and like it works. Okay, let's just pause for a minute and use our actual brain. How many of you, like if you're whatever gender you are, how many, like your parts fit with how many of the opposite gender's parts? You fit with all of them. I'm a dude, my parts fit with girls. That's awkward, okay. Please stick with me here. There's this huge argument in our culture to value compatibility. Physically, you are compatible with every person in the opposite sex. You are compatible with like 3.5 billion people. They fit together, it works. It's a terrible standard for, do we actually fit together? Do you actually fit with like 3.5 billion people? Yes. And I gotta narrow it down a little bit. Whew, that's a lot. Lots of options out there. It's a big pond. Anyways, so we gotta flip it, not this physical bar. We so prioritize that, but it's ridiculous. We're compatible with all. But man, spiritually, it totally narrows it. But then we start to build off of who we are as Christians. There's lots of Christians out there, but then this intellectual layer of who we are, the things that we value, the things that we hope our life is about. Because we're Christians and the things that we want to do, that narrows it even more. And then as we're having those conversations and connecting, who we actually create that emotional bond is even less. That's the compatibility that creates a long-term relationship, not physical. And I'll just say this, when it comes to your wedding night, like your spouse isn't gonna be like so pumped that you're like, hey, babe, I've been planning for this night for years, and I've been like practicing with all these women, watching all this porn, I am like so ready. She's not gonna be like, oh, you've been thinking about me and planning and doing all that with all those other women? Oh, I just feel so good. She's not gonna feel good, she's gonna feel terrible. So just play that argument forward. Compatibility, just drop that. And how do we grab onto the things of God, choose to do things His way, His priorities, right? He's the one that made relationship. Let's do it His way. All right, let's talk about sex a little bit more. I hope I get invited back. All right. Okay, let's talk about, hold on. The timer's gonna go off. It's gonna buzz me every time I say it. Okay. So let's talk about sex. Sex comes like at the end by God's design, right? Sex, like some biblical truth, sex is designed by God for one man, one woman in a covenant of marriage. That's it. Sex is designed by God, this gift from God, right? The parts fit together. It's not just for procreation, also for pleasure, for this sense of intimacy and connection. One man, one woman, covenant of marriage for life. That's God's design. And so anything other than that, any other form of sexuality is sin. Check out this verse in 1 Thessalonians 4:3. It says, God's will is for you to be holy, which is to be like him, his qualities. So because he wants us to be holy, he says, stay away from all sexual sin. Then each of you will control his own body and live in holiness and honor, not in lustful passion like the pagans who do not know God and his ways. God's will for you is holiness. Man, one of the quickest things he talked about that takes away our holiness is our sexuality and how we flirt with that and lie and deceive ourselves, and hurt others. Man, God's design is with sex and sexuality is one man, one woman in the covenant of marriage, this physical part that comes after a spiritual foundation where we learn to connect and to communicate, create an emotional bond that's not codependent on each other from a full cup, and then sex that glues it all together. Any other form is sin. Right? Our culture says, well, you got to make it to first base, maybe a little kissy, kissy, touchy, touchy. Right? And we do these things where we compromise and we lie to ourselves and to others, and we make decisions that we regret. And anything else is sin. Touching body parts that are usually covered up by a swimming suit are not for you to touch unless you're married. It's sin. It's hurting yourself. Now I just want to take a moment. Why does God say wait? Why does God put sex in this one little box, marriage? Why does he do that? And he made relationship, and he made this a part of his creation. He did it on purpose. And we have a few clues as to why God says wait for sex, wait for sexuality. Did you actually know that making out is actually called foreplay? Right? It's actually like the start of sex between married people. So next time that you shouldn't be doing this anyways, but you're making out with your boyfriend or girlfriend and be like, oh man, that was some intense foreplay. Hopefully you just saying that makes you go, we probably shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be foreplaying, because foreplay becomes before the play. Anyways, all right, okay. Woo. Okay, a few things that God has to say about why no to sex, not till marriage. 1 Corinthians 6:18, it says, run from sexual sin. Run, like flee, like get away from sexual sin. Don't flirt with it. How close can we get? How much touching can we do? Oh, that reminds me, I have a little illustration here in my box. How many of you guys have heard, hey, an illustration? That's gonna be appropriate, come on. I have these magnets. We are like magnets. Cameraman, you're gonna have to get close to show this action. Okay. All right, the verse said to flee, to run from sexual sin. Like run from it, run, get away. But what we try to do is we try to flirt, like, well, how close can we get before we do, we don't wanna do that. We'll never do that, but we'll get kind of close. Anyways, we start to lie, right? Relationships are dynamic, so can you see these magnets? Yes. Get some of this stuff out of the way, okay. Right, so like relationships, we're either moving together or we're moving apart. And there's like this line where they come together, sex, we're waiting, we're gonna wait for marriage. We're totally gonna wait. We're just gonna do some things before, but we wouldn't do that. We're gonna keep this gap, but then we start to lie and we go like, oh, we're just holding hands, we're just kissing, we're just touching. What just happened? We did not mean to do that. Let's not do that again, okay? Whew, that was too bad. We might regret that. But let's hold hands and kiss and like touch and stuff. And oh goodness, we did it again. That was not the goal. Okay, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do it. We're Christians. We love God. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. But we're gonna date and like kiss and touch and stuff. And like whoa, hey, woo, man, it's getting crazy. Okay, whew, better put those away. We better put those away. Okay. It's getting a little hot, getting a little exciting. Woo. So you are like a magnet for reals. And you create, like, you know that line at the end, you're like, well, we're not gonna have sex, we're not gonna do that, but we're pretty much gonna do everything but that. That's a lie. It's a lie. And some of you know that that's a lie. That you were like, man, we're not gonna do that. And then the next thing you know, you're like, crap. That was not the plan. It's not what we wanted. Rather than doing it, the Bible says to run from sexual sin. And we often go, you know, God, like I'm really into you. I would never do that, so you can totally trust me, and I don't really need to do what your word says, so I'm gonna flirt with sexual sin. And then we're coming together and we're having regrets. And we're bringing that into our marriage relationship, and we're jacking the whole relationship up, and it's not working. That God has designed sex to be the glue in a marriage. That by God's design, right, if we choose to do life God's way, and if we know Him from a young age and we don't give away our virginity, that we give away our virginity only to our spouse, that we will only have sex with one person our whole life if we live a long life, and that will be a glue that keeps together, that isn't shared with any other person in the entire universe ever. That makes that relationship special and unique, brings a stability and a connection like no other. God designed it that way. I have some other things